Hello. So I just caught the end of a conversation on GB News. I forgot, I didn't hear the people's names, sorry, but one was a notorious kind of green climate hysteria guy. I think he's Irish. And then there was another young lady. I was only listening on the radio, and they were talking about how the young lady's 7-year-old, his school had called her up yesterday to say, please come and collect the child because of the weather and because it was hot. And the guy was saying how, our heat waves are getting much hotter and things like this, and it's all a big concern and a worry. He also said the problem was cars again, and that he was basically saying we should all just be on bikes and life would be wonderful. Anyway, they aren't getting hotter. People going about 76 where the tarmac was literally melting and people were frying eggs on pavements. But as I said, and many people who were in their 40s and older will tell you that most summers they remember as being wonderful hot summers, out on your bikes, playing in rivers, picnicking, sleeping in tents, blah de blah. The problem is this new NIMBY kind of nanny state that we have developed unwantingly as public. And going back to a previous post where I said that potentially, rather than normal warfare, you were going to have adversaries actively dumbing down nations through education. Woke would be a great example. Teaching somebody like Britain to hate its past, teaching Britain to hate its kind of own indigenous skin colour, white supremacy, all of this kind of nonsense, but making people weaker, worried about toxic masculinity, worried about a virus. It's all the same kind of play to weaken people's mentality and ability to cope with things and to think critically and independently. And when it comes to weather, again, we've always had hot weather, we've always had cold weather. It's about equipping kids with the thick-skinned mentality that we as Brits used to be known for, with the blitz spirit, the war spirit, the roll up your sleeves, can-do British spirit that we were so well known for. And I was really lucky. As a kid, I went to a school that is really outdoorsy, and it is still like that, where kids can climb trees. If it's a really snowy day, they don't close. They say, bring your sledges. If it's really hot, school carries on. You just get told to bring a hat and your sun lotion, and you sit under trees. And you're just very sensible. You don't do full-on sports. But in fact, that school that I went to and one of my kids goes to, they've done Duke of Edinburgh, Three Peaks, climbed Ben Nevis, all in really hot weather. As I said, snow days, don't cancel school. The kids just have a great time if you can get there. They have like sledgehammer throwing. Conkers are still there. They do a crazy thing where you build go-karts and then you run them at full speed down a hill. These are the old school traditions that built the Blitz spirit. And my son also goes to a big state school, which happens to be a Christian school. So whether that's got anything to do with it, but they're the same. Lots of outdoor trips on sunny weather, lots of Duke of Edinburgh, lots of sports. Things shouldn't stop just because it's a little bit hot or a little bit cold. We need to invigorate and reinvest and re-nurture the Blitz spirit that Brits were known for in being able to cope with whatever was thrown our way. Because things happen, things change, and people need to be able to deal with it.